Today I am here to share with you this wonderful concept of 3 C's. So what is this? What are these 3 C's? The 3 C's are, the first one is competition, the second one is comparison, the third one is complaint. So these 3 C's are playing a major role in our lives. As you can see in your life, you can always listen these 3 C's of competition, comparison and complaint. So in your day-to-day life, you will be listening of this word competition. This is a competitive world. You have to be in the first, you have to work hard, you have to study hard, you have to do many things, you have to stress yourself to be in this competitive world, to be placed in this competitive world, to earn money, to study well, to be well settled. You have been listening, I have been listening, all of you have been listening about this world competition. So when we listen the word competition itself bring us so much of stress. Oh my God, what is this? That is full of competition. If you are not good enough, if you feel that you are not participating well in this society, if you are not doing so well, you feel like I am not going to succeed in my life. There is so much of competition everywhere. How am I go and placed in a wonderful company? How am I going to, how am I going to take care of my family? So this competition, the word itself brings us so much of stress. And as an engineering student, I can see in our college they say that there is so much of competition, you have to work hard, you have to be placed. So everywhere we listen this word competition. But do we need this competition? Do we really feel that this is a competitive world and if we are not going to work hard, there is no place for us? Is it really true? If you feel like this is a competitive world and you have to really work very hard, and even though you work hard, I'm not going to beat this competition. If you feel like that, then it's going to bring a disasters in our life. It's going to make the hell of our lives. Instead of this competition, let us know about such a wonderful thing called abundance. The world everywhere is abundant. Why do we feel competition? Because we don't feel there is an abundant jobs for us. There are no jobs for in our country or the place where you work. So when we feel like that, when we feel that there is no abundance, there are no jobs, there are very limited jobs for us, then you feel that struggle, then you feel that competition. But instead, when we focus on the abundance, that we have enough jobs, plenty of jobs where I can be placed, where I can be well settled, where I can have growth in my life, where I can take care of my family. See this nature, see this beautiful earth. There are so many trees, the earth is filled with greenery. There is so much of air that we breathe. There is water. There are lakes, there are mountains, there is beauty everywhere. This earth is plentiful, this earth is filled with abundance. We have food to eat. When we focus on this abundance, then our complete version of competition changes. When we focus on the abundance that we have plenty of jobs, if I work hard, if I'm going to work, then I'm going to be placed, then I'm going to have a very good life. If you have that way of focus, if you see in that view, then the competition is nothing for us. If you remember that there are so many of jobs offering, and there are many ways that we can explore, there are many ways that we can expand, then everything changes. Not only in this placements area or everywhere, every company compete with others. The competition here is with others. When this competition is with others, then it brings so much of stress. I hope you are getting my point, what the competition means in your life or in my life. But when we focus on competing with ourselves, that will be different. As we see many times, many places, everywhere, we are competing with others. When we are competing with others, we are not exploring more, we are not expanding more. So when we compete with others, it's like when we are competing, the next thing we do is comparison. We compare with others what they are doing and what we have to do. We compare with others what they are doing, what do we have to do, and what is the thing that we have to we have to expand. So what do we do to compare, to beat that comparison, to be in the top place? And when we compare, when this comparison is not good, when this comparison is not enough, then what do? We complain on others or ourselves that this is happening all because of the shit. So we always, when we start with competition, we compare. When we compare, again we complain. The scenario whole continues again and again and again and again, which brings so much of stress, so much of sadness in our lives. So here, competing in the sense means not competing with others. We have to compete with ourselves. If there is a company, for example, if I'm here, I'm studying, so when I say I don't want to be in this competition, I don't want to be competing with others, but I have to compete with myself, not with others. For example, a student who scores 60 out of 100, they has to compete with themselves. They has to compete with themselves that they want 70 out of 100 for the next time. So they have to compete with themselves. When they compete with themselves, they explore more. They increase their thinking capacity. They increase their capabilities. When they are comparing, when they are competing with others, what happens? We just go to comparison and we just complain, which is not necessary for us. So this is the main thing. If you want to compete with yourself. Compete with yourself that you want to be in a better position again. Competing with ourselves is the main thing that we have to do. And remember, the world is full of abundance. When you focus our view from the lack to abundant, then everything changes. Whatever you want in your life, whatever you want to be in your company, or whether you want to be placed in a job, wherever it might be, when you compete with yourself, when you focus on abundance instead of lack, there is so much of possibilities. The possibilities are everywhere for us. You can look into your life, feel that you are abundant. Release the thought that there are so less amount of jobs for me. So if I am going to apply, there are few chances for me to get into the job. There are few chances for me to grow. Just focus on what you need instead of what you don't. Understand that this world is full of abundance. This world is full of abundance, and it can satisfy the needs you want. Listen to the world, focus on the abundant. Focusing our shift changes everything. Till now, if you are focusing on the lack, if you are focusing on there is so much, there is low jobs, there are no particular jobs for me, or you feel like I am not growing, I am not wealthy enough. So just focus, just shift your focus from lack to abundant. This is the way we are exploring. We start exploring ourselves. We compete with ourselves instead of others. So this is all about competition. The competition everywhere we feel, which brings stress. Say no to competition. Not to compete with others, but to ourselves. Focus on the abundance. Shift your focus from lack to abundance.